Hi guys, Russell Sturgis here, and I'm outdoors. It's such a beautiful day that I couldn't stay in the office and I had to get out into this beautiful weather. A little bit of a breeze, but if you have a look behind me, I'm actually at the mouth of the Maroochydore River, which is just a few hundred metres from my office, and it's just a stunning day. And you're going to hear some people walk past, and you're going to have dogs, and there's people swimming and people fishing, but it was just too beautiful not to be out here and to share this with you today. Over the next few blogs, I'm going to be discussing awareness, and of course, given that the Enhancers Awareness program is all about awareness, I thought it was worthwhile just giving a little bit more in depth to concepts of what awareness is. And last year I wrote a series of little articles that addressed the whole idea of defining what awareness was through exploring what it isn't. And so one of the things that I'm going to do over these next few weeks is share with you some insights into what awareness is by being able to describe different things that awareness is not. The first thing that I want to share with you is the whole idea that awareness is not your thoughts, it's not your feelings, it's not your senses, and it's not what you desire. Awareness is that part of you that has the ability to observe those things. So it has the ability to observe your thoughts. And I'm sure that there's been times where you've had really stressful thoughts, and it's nearly like a part of you has been able to step back and see that and observe you going into that stressful state. The same with emotions. I'm sure that there's been many times when you've experienced certain emotions and there's a part of you steps back and sees that and goes, well, you know, yeah, I'm having those emotions, but it's not really me. I've spoken to enough women in my times as a clinician in natural therapies who, when they were going through PMS or menopause, they would talk about these emotions that they had, and they just said, it's not me. I have these emotions, but it's not who I really am. So there's this sense that there's something that observes and something that participates in the experience. Body sensations and the way in which we engage ourselves physically, the things that we desire, all of these things we have, but we're not them because we can observe them. And it comes back to being clear about what's observing. And that's a part of us that's more than the thought, that is more than the feeling, that's more than the desire, that's more than the sensation. So what happens is that we embed ourselves into becoming our thoughts and our feelings and our desires and our sensations when we attribute a meaning or a value to them. And the point at which we extend that beyond being the observer to giving meaning and to giving value, all of a sudden we embed ourselves away from being the observer into the experience of those things, because now we've actually taken the story or the sum of our own beliefs and attitudes and understanding, and we've placed that into the things that we've observed, and at that point we're no longer the observer. We've now become that which is the thought, that which is the desire, that which is the feeling, that which is sensing. So we have this ability to shift between these two places. Of course, what happens is when we have the ability to stay in awareness, the natural result of that is stillness, because we're separate from the experience to some extent. Whereas once we've embedded ourselves into that, we're now caught up in our story, and with our story comes all the expectations, all of the fears, all of the things that basically have us suffer as a result of the beliefs that we establish about who we are in the world. So at any one point we have this ability to flip between being in our story and all of the states of consciousness of who we are physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually, and playing in that playground with everybody else, or we can step back and observe what's going on in that place, and in the place of observation decide whether or not how we are engaging life serves us. And I guess it's in that reflection that we do attribute some meaning. But the meaning isn't that it's good or bad or right or wrong or more than or less than. It's about where I am in that particular point of focus of who I am in my physical consciousness or my emotional, spiritual or mental consciousness, whether or not that serves me. So this week's blog explores that whole notion of being the observer as opposed to being caught up in the meaning or the value of our thoughts and our desires and the feelings and the sensations that basically make up our consciousness as it presents itself now. If there's anything that you'd like to ask, or if you have some thoughts about what I've been talking about today, please leave some comments on the blog. We'd love to hear from you, and I'll be speaking to you in a couple of weeks. Catch up then. Bye.